All right, guys, what's up? Welcome back to Average Takes.
Welcome
Today's
back.
episode, we got Josh motherfucking Hader is a San Diego Padre. We're going to break down that deal. I'm super excited for that. We got the whole MLB trade deadline. We are less than 24 hours away. It ends at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time, August 2nd. By the time this podcast is up, the deadline is done past. You know where Juan Soto is. We do not as of right now. So we're going to get to all of the trade deadline day one because obviously MLB is a straight 36 hours of chaos, and it started this morning. So we're going to get to all that. And then we're also going to break down a little suspension in the NFL world. And when I say little, because I mean, it was definitely not the size this podcast thought. So we're going to touch on that if we remember to get to it at the end. If not, we'll touch on that again. But all right, let's get into the show, boys. All right, boys. Trevor, Roman, Josh Hader, lefty. Has 100 gas. San Diego Padre.
What was your guys' reaction when you got that notification?
I got bricked up, honestly.
No way. No way. I mean, I was stunned when I saw that. It came totally from left field. I did not see the Padres doing this, but I'm excited. I definitely no more nervous biting nails in the ninth.
I'm just glad. Yeah, honestly, I'm just glad. You know, the trend Taylor Rogers has been on this last month wasn't gonna look good when we needed him to look good, and Josh Hader is proven 3-time NL Closer of the Year, which is named after Trevor Hoffman. So, and he comes to a town who is looking to compete, and I think San Diego is gonna be a much better spot for him than Milwaukee was. Milwaukee's been in the playoffs in and out his whole career, probably, honestly. But I mean, they never had a Tatis, they never had a Machado, and I think he's going to be way more happy to be playing here.
I mean, they had a Christian Yelich
one time.
But yeah, Josh Hader, man, Padres had a problem with the closer. Rogers had given up 6 saves, I believe. Boom, 6 saves. And it was a stretch of games, you know.
3 weeks.
We talked about last season Mark Melancon and his struggles, how they weren't struggles, but it was just scary. Every outing it seemed to get scarier. That's what all of a sudden this month felt like last year, but times 10. It was like every game there was a guy on second, and then all of a sudden there was the next game guy on third, and then blown save, and then he couldn't get back-to-back games. It was just not getting good this last 2 weeks, especially. You know, he blows the save versus the Tigers, and that was just heartbreaking. That was a game we should have had. We needed to win that game. I mean, we're 10 plus games out. Once you're up past the 10 mark, doesn't matter because that's so many goddamn games. Every game matters, especially every game matters times 2 at this point, because the Dodgers don't lose games and they don't have Walker Buehler. They don't have half their guys. So every game matters. This was a huge deal. Josh Hader, his numbers are inflated this year. Obviously, he has a 4.24 ERA, 34 innings. But excluding his 1-2 hiccups, he doesn't even pitch an inning. It gives up 9 runs, 2 different games, back-to-back games. He has a 1.87 ERA in 33 and a third innings. So at the end of the day, Josh Hader has been a top closer for the last couple years. This was a move that the Padres had to make, and they paid the price. I'm not going to say it wasn't cheap, because this was a great deal. The Brewers made a good move. They feel good about Devin Williams over there and his airbender changeup. which I do too, because he's obviously just as dirty as Josh, and the Brewers obviously think that. And they were happy moving on. Josh Hader's going into his last season under arbitration next year. His contract's only going up. He's making 11 million this year. They're saying upwards to 15 next year. It's definitely a move, but the Padres made a good one. We got rid of Taylor Rogers, Dinelson Lamet. I want to touch on Lamet a little bit, even though he's been ass this year, like straight terrible, chokes me up, really does. Because 2020 he was so good, bro. Like he was top 5 Cy Young. His slider was so dirty. Don and Mud were talking about it today. Like they're gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him because he grew in our system. He had Tommy John once for us. I think if he just would have done what Mike Clev did and had Tommy John, he probably would be just as dirty, but he tried fighting it, didn't want to go Tommy John again. Because I think that would have been his third, technically. I think he had one really early. I'm not too sure. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong on
You
that.
could just keep getting Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they'll take as many ligaments as they can find.
That's crazy.
But yeah, do we have any more comments on this? He didn't show up to today's game, but he will be there tomorrow. He's on the PJ traveling.
Absolutely.
If you're listening to this
Excited.
podcast and it's the 9th inning, could be in for the Padres already, handling the Rockies right now. But I really like that move. There's a lot more moves to be made because with that trade, I was getting to the bottom of it. It was Rogers, Lamet. We also gave up Esteury Ruiz. He's a young prospect for the Padres who just came up about a month ago. Is that what we think? A month ago?
Mhm.
And actually,
Last time we played the Rockies.
And he had a really good series. He'd been playing pretty good for us coming in defensively. He's quick, good with the glove, could play multiple outfield positions. I think that was a huge piece in this deal, and I do think he's going to be a solid everyday major leaguer at some point in his career. He's super young. And Brewers, I mean, we've done deals with them before. They know how to find talent. We know how to find talent. And it's just making a trade that works both sides. I mean, Padres got a veteran all-star closer of the year, like Trevor said. We gave up some good guys. Then we have also gave up I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Do you remember? Gasser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Gasser.
Robert Gasser, left-handed young prospect in the Padres system. That's one of the names that we'll find out in the future if the Padres mess up or not. He's too young, too raw to really determine this early, but it was a prospect Brewers went and asked for, got it done. I don't know what else to mention on him. It could be like a Ty France or something like son of a bitch.
Preller. One day, like Padre, the MLB is full of Padres prospects.
Yeah,
that name is going to be one of them.
Yeah, it could be one day, but I think that move was cheap for Hader in my eyes. I really thought
I think too.
Josh Hader would be worth so much more, especially with the career, the numbers. I mean, he's played in a hitter's ballpark in Milwaukee forever. He's going to go to Petco. The air's thick, blown in. Like it's gonna be nice. I think his numbers are going to change dramatically.
Yeah.
If you minus those 9 runs, then
yeah, I think like exactly what you said. That fluke 9 runs and this little stretch that he had of bad baseball really sold the Padres for a low price.
Definitely. And then like you were saying earlier, you touched on it. All these games matter now. Like we're in the second half of baseball. We are truly in the dog days of summer now. And I am much comfortable watching Josh Hader run out in the 9th inning than I am Taylor Rogers. So
no more fingernail biting for us. Another long-haired pitcher coming to San Diego, ready to shine.
I like the hair. This team, they are rocking it.
I love it.
They rock it, dog.
And I can't wait for them to just October let everything go. Beards start coming out.
Oh,
The hairs
yeah.
are all long.
Yeah, because Manea
That's
just
baseball
shaved.
right
Manea
there.
just shaved. He's about to grow that sucker in the next couple months. He
Um,
looks so weird. Just a quick comment. Sorry, he looks
yeah,
so weird
without the
shaved.
stash.
Without everything. He was clean shaved the whole face. And
Yeah,
I
I
was
know
like,
the other day.
wow.
Mud called it
I
a
was stunned.
prospect look. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm dying. I'm dead.
That was his military face.
Yeah, for the Navy Sunday, clean shaven.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about the Padres, Tatis had live swings today. Seems like he's gonna have a rehab stint.
Yeah,
in the following
honestly,
days.
feels like he was never fucking hurt this whole time.
All
everything
of a sudden you're getting the tingle down under in your belly, huh, Trevor?
Every time I hear what he's doing, oh, he dropped 7 home runs in BP the other day.
Bob Melvin was joking around that he was going to start him.
Yeah, today Bob
looked that
Melvin's
good.
like he took live at bats. First at bat home single, second at bat home run. Seems like he's been fine this whole time. I don't know why he was out for 8 fucking months.
Well, he had surgery, Trevor. Now he's fine, obviously. But I do feel the same way you do now. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, we're getting a top fucking prospect in the entire MLB, Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, he's still a goddamn kid. He's still going to make mistakes. He's still going to have errors. I do not care. I need the flair. I need the bat. I need him, the pimp jobs, all the above, the swinging Fryer. It's the swinging Tatis. Just let the kid swing away.
Yeah.
Keep this IL stint short. Let him come DH for a while. Haas is hurt, so we got some room to flex the DH first base, outfield for Will. We got room right now.
And I think him waiting so long to come back is good. He obviously is coming back 100%, feeling better than ever. And I would rather have him come back feeling like that than him 80% struggling, hurt himself even more. So I feel like that's what the Padres wanted to just chill.
Yeah,
just chill.
and it honestly seems like
when we need you, we'll come get you.
When he gets hurt, like he doesn't know how to play through injuries at the moment in his career.
Goes wild. Yeah, he just wants to play.
So once he can maybe like adjust with that, like obviously the talent that he has is amazing and he's gonna improve our team, but we just need him on the field. We literally just need him on the field, and
he's like one of those show lions that's just a little too young, has like too much flair, just wants to play, wants to roll around, wants to claw and scratch at you. Like it needs to be tamed. It needs to like control its emotions. He needs to play with as much flair, but he needs to be able to control it. And I think that's going to come with his years, obviously. And a person next to him that had different style of like flair and energy in Manny Machado, but still the same thing. He had to learn, come deep down and become a grown adult major league player, and Manny had obstacles. He had hatred and was fighting people and had to overcome those obstacles. He was like deemed the most hated player in baseball. Still gets some hate, but he has grown through that. He's grown to love it, grown to know that they hate you for a reason.
Like they don't boo nobodies.
Yeah, they don't boo nobodies. They know your name. They're gonna boo it for a reason. Like they are gonna let every average Joe just walk up and just bat.
Yeah.
If you are playing against us in our division or anywhere and you are very good, you're gonna get booed. Tatis gets booed. He needs to learn how to play with all of his energy and not go for 100,000% and get hurt. That's what we're used to, or he's used to. Yep. It's time to just play baseball, and I think that's Bo Mel's going to need to teach him that too. But I'm excited. Obviously, Bo Mel was excited, like you guys said. I was thinking about writing him in the lineup today.
He was ready to jump.
And the Padres had a AAA pitcher who flew out to throw him live BP, where there was no net. It was live, and he was putting them over the fence. So I know they feel good about it. I'm really hoping that IL stint is short, 3 games max, and let's get him back in the bigs, get it rolling. But
If you're
let's get
that
back
pitcher,
to the trade deadline. You got
hold on,
any last comments?
if you're that pitcher, are you excited for him to hit home runs off you, or are you kind of pissed?
I think you're excited you get a call.
You get a call like, "Hey, I need you to come pitch to Tatis," and you go there and he's just fucking raking off you.
And I think you let him rake off you, build his
Let him
confidence.
rake off you, but then you're never gonna get the call to come. Hey, I need
No,
you to
no,
pitch
you
in
just
a real game.
you just tell them after, hey, I was taking it easy on you. I know you're injured. I know
okay.
you're rehabbing.
Okay.
I didn't want to give you my
Please your
good
case.
stuff.
All
Yeah.
right. Makes sense.
And I think I'm ready for him. Don't care.
Don't care. Love it. Bring on Tatis.
Bring Tatis. For the other deadline moves that we've been seeing across the league. You know, the Mancini move. His name's been tossed around here and there. He goes up to the Astros. Baltimore's heart and soul is gone after all that he went through in Baltimore. Like, it's super sad to see him go, but
I feel bad
at least
for Orioles
the
fans.
the Astros are in a spot where they're ready to compete, and they definitely surprised me more this year than I thought they were gonna do. And he's definitely gonna be in the playoffs now. You know,
Absolutely.
Orioles, they
But,
made a lot of
Orioles
noise.
had a chance, bro. They're like 3 games at a wild card. They're
Yeah,
playing
no.
their best baseball for a while. I just feel bad for Oriole fans. They just sent their best player away.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah,
Mancini's been in trade talks for a couple years now, and I think they finally waited and waited and waited. And they thought he was going to grow into maybe more potential where they could get more, but I think he's plateaued. And I don't want to take anything away from him because he's a cancer survivor, and I think he's an awesome fucking player, and that shit's unreal to come back from. But I think this was a good time to move him. You obviously are a team that is borderline playing, but I mean, there's still a long time. There's 2 months left of baseball, guys.
Yeah.
For the Orioles to really sit down and think like what's best for their team, it's to make this move. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a free agent at the end of the year. Yes, he is the heart and soul, but you make this move. Astros, this is a great move for the Astros. He's a great hitter, can play outfield, first base, DH. And he's a great leader. You know, Adley Rutschman came out and said like this was a captain of their team, like a great leader inside the clubhouse, on the field, show them the fans and everything. Like, so this is definitely a move that you don't want to make. And maybe this is one of those moves that you go and sign him as a free agent. You trade him now. You tell him, hey, we're going to flip you, make some prospects. Come November when it's free agency, we'll see where you're at.
Yeah.
Don't sell the house. You know, that's what they're saying, basically.
Okay.
Don't sell the house.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
maybe.
still love you, but we're trying to make this team better.
I think that would be a story in maybe 2 years when the Orioles are kind of clawing their way back into relevance. But Mancini goes to Astros. I like that move from the Astros standpoint.
And that was a 3-team trade. Jose Siri goes to the Rays, in which, I mean, Rays have been upgrading. They add Jose Siri. They added David Peralta from the Diamondbacks a couple days ago. That was a move that we didn't get to talk about in the last podcast because I think it happened like immediately after, like when I was laying in bed. But that's a move that I think the Rays need to make. I think they need to add hitters to this team. I think they also need to add another pitcher. So I don't think the Rays are done. They have a lot of prospects to move. They are loaded in the system. And I know they like to say like that. So maybe they don't make any move and just hope guys come back healthy and they just play better baseball, I guess, second half. But I think they need to add one more move besides those 2.
Yeah, and then going back to the Astros, they also added Christian Vasquez from the Red Sox, and funny enough, they're playing each other this today. So all he really did was grab his shit and walk over. Didn't need to hop on a PJ or nothing like that.
Did you see what JD Martinez said?
Yeah.
JD Martinez was talking to the press about this trade, and they go, well, or he said, what's real funny is that we just sat in a hitters meeting, and gave our full approach to the Astros like pitchers in the bullpen. And then he gets traded during BP before the game after that meeting. So now Astros catcher knows their entire game plan and could go right into the Astros team and go, hey, guys, here's the game plan.
Yeah.
Right here.
Or if he starts tomorrow, he knows how they want to like attack like the pitchers.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
the catcher. I'm the
above.
catcher. I get to call the pitches. Yeah, right. Fuck you.
Exactly. All of the above. Like, this is a crazy move. Astros upgraded their team, right, so far. And I saw
Big
a tweet
time.
saying their GM said they're not done. So they were talking about moving some of their starters for other flexible pieces. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested. The Astros have been a really good team over the last couple of years, and losing Correa, people thought they were not going to be as good. They're still good. Everyone thought the Angels were going to be that dog, but they're not. Astros running that division away again.
Dusty
and making great moves. Yeah, Dusty's being Dusty, leading teams to the playoffs. I mean, the Astros have been in what? They won one World Series, but have been in three. They've been in three of them. They lost two. One versus the Red Sox, one versus last year versus the Braves. So, I mean, they're a good team, and they continue to get better. Speaking of good teams continuing to get better, do we mention the Braves adding some of these low-key guys? I mean, we talked about the Braves a little bit with the Astros trading Will Smith and I don't know if we talked about it actually. Will Smith and
Robert Grossman.
No, it just Jake Odorizzi. Sorry, Will Smith and Jake Odorizzi got swapped. So I think the Astros won that move because they added a lefty bullpen arm, and I think that's a great piece for them. And Odorizzi hasn't been, I don't think, that good for the Astros. So I don't know really what the Braves are doing. But I guess he's been solid his last start. So he hasn't been
probably not.
I don't know. That was just kind of it was a major leaguer for a major leaguer, 1 for 1. But I think the Astros picked up the better piece in that deal.
Yeah, probably.
But Roman, you touched on Grossman. Grossman goes to the Braves.
Yeah,
that's
you were talking about their additions, not.
But yeah, Grossman going to the Braves. I wanted him a lot last year, and I know a lot of teams also did. He had like 20 bombs and 20 stolen bases last year. Put average aside, that's a great year.
Yeah,
don't care what the average is. You hit 20 bombs, steal 20 bags. It's a great year playing baseball for anybody. So
major leaguer.
I know he wasn't having the best season this year, but that's a great bench piece for the Braves, and that is just like a move they made last year. You know, Eddie Rosario was last year. That helped them win the World Series, and this is one of those moves. Point blank, period.
Point blank.
Definitely. Period. The Yankees get Frankie Montes and Louis Trevino. So basically the whole A's team.
Yeah, the Yankees get the rest of the A's. So the A's are basically a triple team. But the Yankees make the move, you know. This is the move they needed to make. I know everyone wanted them to get Luis Castillo from the Reds, but the Reds got a big prospect haul from the Mariners. I think the Yankees gave up less to get Montas and Trevino. They gave up one top 5 prospect in their system. Mariners gave up like the 2, 4, and 7 or something like that.
Yeah, but the Mariners GM has been a little bit known to be like aggressive like that.
And I mean, I don't want to like be so harsh on him because the Mariners haven't made the playoffs in like 20 years. So yeah, I understand he's going to go buy a major league caliber starter who is going to be better than stats show because that Red Stadium is as small as the Yankees and you could just boop homers out of it. Going to the Mariners Stadium, totally different. It's way bigger, different atmosphere. And I think he's going to be a better pitcher. It's a new team, a lot of old teammates too. So he has guys he could connect with and has past relationships with. So he's going to be comfortable. And what major leaguers say is comfortability makes you better. Like, you know, just being around people who you like and understand and know makes you comfortable. Like just like Trace Thompson, Padres had him, Tigers had him, didn't do nothing. Dodgers get him back.
He's an all-star. What the hell?
Yeah, he's gonna be a second half all-star basically. He's been raking for the Dodgers, so it's comfortability. He played for them for a long time, knows the system, knows the players. Comfortable.
I mean, and he's a Thompson, so
comfortable. I mean,
his brother's pretty good at shooting threes.
That's damn. Speaking of Braves, last thing, they signed Austin Riley to a 10-year contract extension. Trevor,
secure the third baseman.
How are the Braves so good at finessing players out of money?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because this was a deal that I looked at and went, wow, they did it early, got it done with, and they got the cheap side of it.
Yeah, they did. They did that with Ozzy Albies, I think.
Albies, I feel like
Matt Olson makes the most money on the team, yearly.
I feel like his deal wasn't even that big either for the years he was coming off with the A's.
Yeah, and
I feel like
did they give Acuna a deal?
I know they did, but I'm pretty sure it was actually nice for the time. I don't know if it's nice looking back on it now.
Was back then.
It was at the time. He signed an 8-year, $100 million contract.
Acuna did?
And yeah, 19 through 26, 27 and 28 team option. The Braves are out here robbing these baseball players.
That's wild.
Nobody on the Braves is represented by Scott Boras. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Like, they know how to draft them. You're Scott Boras' agent. Yo, we're staying clear.
We're sending you away, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, because their players are just signing these mediocre deals, and they're being able to pay everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, good for them, but the players are getting screwed. I know Albies has the worst deal that, like, he got the freaking Young Thug deal, dog. I signed the worst deal in the world.
What is it?
It's like 8 years for like 80 million, maybe
million or something. Dog. Like it's so bad. Let me just pull it up.
10 years is way too long for any contract.
7 years, 35 million. Dude, that's what I was saying. I lowballed it a little bit, but 7 years, 35 million.
I highballed it a lot. I thought it was worth at least 10 mil a year.
Nope.
5 million.
Yeah, bro. Like, legit, the Braves are screwing these guys. Like, if I'm them, I'm walking up to the GM being contract extension, dog. We got to rework this deal. I signed the worst deal in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're like, "Sorry, buddy, you're stuck. You signed it."
Yeah, you signed it, buddy. I mean, no wonder Freddie didn't get the deal done.
I know.
Braves pockets are stingy.
They offered him
contract extensions. I don't know if we talked about Java Cup Joe yet.
Talked about him a little bit last week when the deal was it was floated.
But that's the perfect deal. If I'm him, I'm 100% taking that deal.
Well,
5 years, 100
million. It helps the Padres out a lot. Helps the Padres out a lot because he took a discount for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's worth more than just 20 million a year. I'm pretty sure Yu Darvish is 26 or something like that.
Took a discount to get here too, and then here taking a little bit of a discount again.
Well, he didn't have a say how he got here. We traded for him, but he definitely took a deal staying here. And I know his deal reported earlier in the year was like 11 years, $11 million, but this 5 years, $100 million, perfect, set in stone. We'll talk a contract again at the end, but Dog, you get $20 million a year and you get to stay home. You get to live at home, play in the ballpark you loved as a child.
Yeah, and you touched on comfortability. He's exactly showing you what comfortability does to a player. You get to see his parents every day, you know, drive up to Alpine, maybe grab a coffee from his family shop, his mom's shop.
His sister brings cookies to all the Padres, like coaches and announcers and staff, like team. They always
Really?
post the cookies. Teresa, yeah, she gives them cookies every start. Java Joe start, you get a batch of cookies.
Damn right, hell yeah! And they
Yeah.
get 5 more years of that. I bet
Yeah,
you everyone's
5 more
hyped.
years of cookies, babies. Let's go.
Lit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great deal for the Padres. That beautiful deal, perfect. I mean, I wouldn't want him for any less anymore. Like, it helps us out so much.
Perfect deal.
Yeah, and we can honestly, like, going into last year, I would say Yu Darvish was our best pitcher. Joe Musgrove is obviously, in my opinion, has overthrown him. He is our ace now, Joe Musgrove. And you're paying him like less money than what Yu Darvish was making. Yu Darvish's contract's off the books at the end of the year, so we're kind of pick you up, place you here. Like, that's kind of how it's gonna work. But I mean, the Padres can make some more moves, and this trade deadline is
Not over yet.
At
Not
about-
over yet.
I don't
The
know,
big fish hasn't fallen yet. So
17 hours, 16 hours left.
the
Phone
big
calls
fish
are being made. There's a lot of
hasn't
phone calls happening right now.
fallen.
And we'll see right after the game ends. Boom, trade happens.
Couple more guys we got to touch on before we get out of here. We mentioned the Yankees trading for Frankie Montas. They also add Scott Efros from the Cubs, and Efros is kind of an interesting name. I hadn't really heard of him until I came through a couple TikToks, like MLB trade guys who go deep into the deepest, darkest secrets of MLB, and they showed me this guy's numbers, and he's actually have a pretty solid campaign with the Cubs. Over the last 58 innings as a big leaguer, he has a 2.91, and he's only 28. It's a good name for the Yankees. I'm pretty sure he's a little bit of a side armor kind of deal, but it's a good name for the Yankees to pick up for that bullpen. We also talked about the Red Sox, but I don't think we touched on Tommy Pham. So the Red Sox have been trading guys away. We talked about trading their catcher, and they also traded another arm for a guy who'd been caught public masturbating. So that's pretty cool. But the Red Sox trade for Tommy Pham from the Reds. I mean, sorry.
He was on the Rays.
Yeah, that my bad. Mix up flashback. I'm a little interested on this because Tommy Pham hasn't been great recently.
Well,
Like the
Tommy
last
Pham,
month, he's been ass cheeks.
yeah, and honestly, to me, once you fight someone over fantasy football, like you're dead. You're done.
You're dead.
Your career's over.
Well, the Red Sox traded for a guy who publicly masturbated in front of a Dollar Tree, and then also traded for a guy who slapped another major league player during batting practice. So Red Sox win officially day one deadline.
Yep. Sounds just like their fans. I think they're going to love them, both of them.
I do too. Great. It's a great connection. Tommy Pham in that ballpark. Going back in that division, played for the Rays, obviously knows those teams. Hey, we'll see. I don't know what the Red Sox are thinking. Like, what does this help you?
They're not even rebuilding. They're just tanking.
I have no idea what the Red Sox are doing. Yeah, it does make sense they're taking because they traded Hunter Renfroe this offseason for Jackie Bradley Jr. Renfroe just fucking destroyed them the last series, including a 4-for-4 day. Had a couple dongs versus them in the series. He showed them, why the fuck did you trade me? I just had a good ass year. You trade me for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
Guy who doesn't even hit.
A defensive
replacement in like the ninth inning over a starting outfielder who has a cannon of an arm. He's not even a DH. He's a starting outfielder. Like I don't even understand that move, but I don't understand what the Red Sox are doing. Trading for Tommy Pham. What hole does that fill? Are they going to make more moves? Are you trade for Dugo?
I hope they're done. Just
that's it.
Yeah.
Tommy Pham.
Makes no sense. Tommy Pham, he was perfect on the Reds.
Is that they're gonna cut Jackie Bradley Jr.
Wait, hold on. Didn't Tommy Pham say he picked the Reds so he can boost his offensive numbers?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I think if I'm being just like taking a look, I think his offense numbers are lower than he was when he was on the Padres.
I believe
it'd just be me, but
you could be onto something there.
Tommy Pham selfish. Always getting.
I really don't think the Padres were trying to re-sign him though, even though he said there are people in that organization that still like him.
I don't know.
He's a .64 on the year, 340 ABs. He has 81 hits, 11 bombs, batting at .238. Basically, I mean, better than the last couple years. I'm not gonna lie.
Not what he was talking about, though.
Not what he was talking. That's definitely not true. But I think that we touched on most of everything for the day one trades. Oh, Cardinals get their starter. They were talking about they need starting pitching. All their fans, when they announced that the Cardinals were in the race for Soto, they were like, "Why are we getting Soto? We need pitching." Like Soto, yeah, all our prospects are gone. We don't have pitching. Well, you just traded for him. I don't know much of their system. I don't know if it was a big deal or not.
I mean, Jose Quintana's got a half year left.
He's pretty old. Like I don't think this affects.
He hasn't been good in 3 years. He was having a great year in Pittsburgh, but once again, rare in division trade, which I think is always rare. An in division trade is very rare, and they get it done. Who else? I'm gonna try to think of a couple of names that I think are gonna get moved tomorrow. Obviously Juan Soto. That's a big name we're keeping eyes on, keeping tabs on.
Contreras.
Yep. I'm seeing Noah Syndergaard's name out there a lot. Would like to see what teams give up for him. Diamondbacks roster. I've heard Rendon and Jock on the Giants are looking to get moving. From the Giants' perspective, like how they are right now, that makes a lot of sense.
Garrett Cooper of the Marlins.
Yep.
And then obviously Josh Bell, my boy. I think he's going to get moved. There's no point in them keeping him. He's a half year left, and he's absolutely raking this year. So it would be devastating for him as a player to stay in that franchise. He deserves to go. I mean, he was on the fucking Pittsburgh Pirates for a couple years and then Nationals for a couple years. He deserves to go play for a contender. God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Like, for real, he's a first baseman who could play the outfield, both corners, can DH, who's been raking. Somebody go get this man.
Yes.
If the Red Sox don't want to get JD, don't want to give up JD, I think this is Josh Bell is a guy the Mets can target for a DH role. I think that's definitely a solid team. I know they don't really want to move much. I know they were checking in on JD, and Red Sox originally said they wanted a top prospect and a solid major leaguer.
Oh, what the? These teams be greedy, I swear.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I heard that just some Twitter guys were like throwing deals out there, and then they said Dom Smith and Mark
Vientos.
Yeah, Vientos. There you go, Mets prospect. I saw that get thrown out there. So I don't know. We'll see if the Mets are actually really trying to buy or sell. I haven't really heard their name much. So we'll see. I think they still need to make a move. I think the Braves are making the little moves like they did last year just to build that little sneaky team.
Yeah. We'll see. I
Question.
love the buyers in the deadline, so I love seeing teams.
Juan Soto's a Padre tomorrow. Who do you think it'll be for?
If Juan Soto's a Padre tomorrow,
Anyone
Who do
you
you
can think of.
Who do you think will not be on our team?
Mackenzie Gore,
Hassel,
Abrams,
CJ Abrams,
James
James
Wood,
Wood, and then probably
and maybe Grisham.
I don't know
You
about
don't think
Grisham.
Eric
I think they
Hosmer's in
want
that deal or Will
no.
Myers is in that
No.
deal?
I think Eric Hosmer is a Padre for life. Will Myers is cost too much money for like a rebuilding team to just want to take on half his contract, honestly.
Do you think Jurickson Profar is in this?
no.
No.
I think
really
Rick has proved himself to be I'm a key chip in this system right now. You're keeping me.
Yeah, no, I think he's a key player on this team right now. The way he's been hitting and fielding. He has 3 bombs 3 consecutive days. It's going to be a lot of prospects, and it's up to the Nationals. You know, they're going to pick what deal suits them best. Dodgers, Cardinals, Padres, man. If it's not the Padres, I hope it's the Cardinals because God fucking damn it.
It better not be the damn Dodgers, dude.
It better not be. But I know that they see the Yankees upgrade and they're not looking at the Padres. They're looking at the other teams in the league. They're going, we got to get better. But I still think they need to get better pitching wise. So I don't think they end up making this move.
I mean, they have to give up a lot too.
Soto's a Padre?
They have to give up a lot. I do think the Padres have the best deal to give. And they also, I don't think Preller's going to stop. I think when it all comes down to it and the Nationals go, hey, are you going to give them? Are you going to toss James Woods in it? Are you going to toss Jackson Merle in it? I think Preller just says yes.
Yes.
At the end. Says, what does it got to do? Like, what do we got to do to get it done? That's what I'm hoping at least. I mean, I did not see Josh Hader coming. I'm hyped for that. If it's not Soto, we still need help. I mean, if we get Ian Happ, we have to get Wilson Contreras.
Need both. Can't just do one.
I just want anyone but Joey Gallo. Anybody?
No. Bowie Ballo?
Staying away from Bowie Ballo. How did you just say his name? How did you just say his name on this podcast,
Really,
Trevor?
Oh, my bad. I meant
now it's
little
happening.
bitch. I meant little bitch.
No, now it's happening because you said his name.
My bad. I am cursed like that, so I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. We decided on keeping that name a secret because we didn't want Preller getting any word from us because he's an active listener.
Pissed.
And
You just cut that part out. Let's just bleep it out. Can we bleep this part?
You put it into existence.
I don't know if I can. I don't know. You said Bowie Ballo's real name.
And you slid right through it like if you didn't say it.
Yeah, Preller's gonna go,
No, I didn't.
I forgot about Bowie Ballo.
He's hitting rewind on the YouTube right now.
He's like, what did this guy just say? What did he just say?
Wait a second. I forgot about him.
All right, well, before
he's available.
Yeah.
All right, before we get too deep on the Bowie Ballo again, let's talk about this little NFL suspendee. When I mean little,
oh, should I read that tweet off? Oh, damn, I can find it.
It was little.
Yeah, and
I know what tweet you're talking about, Roman.
Yes. Hold on, let me see if I can find
But
it.
Deshawn Watson has been the talk of the last 2 years.
I'm gonna read this off to you guys, and I want the viewers to respond in the comments what you think about it. All right. Deshawn Watson, 6 games and had a total of $340,000 in fines. A good friend of Trevor Bauer, 324 games and a total of $64 million.
Did
in
you
fines.
say good friend of Trevor Power?
But I mean, just let me know how you guys feel in the comments about that. That is a wide difference in suspensions and fines between both leagues, and
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's just wild.
Deshawn Watson had 28, 29, 30 cases, and they all got closed out out of court, out of pocket, whatever you want to call it. Man gets 6 games. Trevor Bauer had 1 case, go to court, get settled. 2 whole seasons.
Wild.
I mean, you look at the spectrum.
Way to make a statement, NFL. Way to make a statement that you don't want any of this shit in your league.
The NFL is going to suspend a man who spent $1,200, $1,500 gambling.
Calvin Ridley, 1 year suspension.
A whole season.
Yes, I still think suspending Josh Gordon for smoking some weed for a whole year indefinitely is worse than 6 games for Deshawn Watson. And then you see these Browns fans. Actually, he was suspended 23 games. People don't forget about last year. And they talk like that too because they're all pussies.
No, I think this sucks. I mean, the man had 30 cases. He should have got a case a game.
Something fishy's going on here.
Yeah, NFL's
at least the whole year.
Yeah,
the Browns expected the whole year. They're like 6 games. We're winning. We're winning the Super Bowl.
And the NFL gave the Browns the 6 easiest games to start the year.
Of course,
they knew what they were doing. It all fell under their plan.
Yeah, I was reading everyone going crazy, going the Browns are going to start the season 4-2 and get Deshaun Watson. Watch.
Yeah, right. Not with Jacoby Brissett.
Might be 2-4, then get Deshaun Watson.
I hope they're 1-5 because Deshaun's gonna choke.
I don't know, man. I just don't think that's right. I don't think he.
You know what's gonna happen? I think the Browns are gonna do the same thing the Texans did. Personally, get him room so he can get massages to keep him happy because he's their franchise now.
Did you get a phone call to be a masseuse or something?
Who, me?
Do you got plans this football season?
I promise you, Deshaun don't want me going. Deshaun don't want me coming up there. I'll give him a couple elbows to the side, maybe a couple in the face.
Sean says he likes rough hands.
You are talking the right. You are talking the right person. Then.
Oh shit!
I know. I'm surprised you haven't got the call yet.
He knows what I would do to him. That's why.
But for the right dollar, he knows what you can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna need about 200 million.
All shit he needs is to fly out.
All shit he needs is a Steelers Browns game. Steelers Browns game in fucking steel curtain. And Kenny's all, where's the massage at in? What floor?
I might bring some illegal substances with me and maybe get him caught for PEDs or something.
That'd be a smart move right there.
Still, you get less than 6 games for that.
You're just trying to build up his case to get more games. Doesn't work. They find him for less. They're like, actually, we got him for too hard.
Yeah, 2 games.
2 games.
Actually, we're suing the massage company now.
All right, guys, this has been an Average Taste podcast. Hope you liked. I hope you commented. I hope you subscribed.
Absolutely.
I hope you stay tuned for day 2 and the final trade deadline post that we're gonna make of the goddamn season. Until NFL's right around the corner.
And vibes might change from this part 1 to part 2.
Yeah, the vibes might change. Today we got Josh Hader. Tomorrow, we don't know yet.
We could have Bowie Ballo.
Yeah, we could. If we have Bowie Ballo, tomorrow might be the final episode of Average Takes.
Yeah. Well, if we get Bowie Ballo, I think Bob's gonna have to do a solo show.
Yeah.
And just name him Bowie Ballo until he hits a bomb.
Golly.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Nothing wrong with being average.
Fuck you, Bowie.
Me and Shenny are going to give you the updated deadline part 2. So stay tuned to this episode, the back half of this episode. We are hitting you right now. It's going to be halftime. And here is our sponsors. All right, guys, we got you a packed show today. This is an emergency podcast requested by the fans for the fans. Trevor, I'm going to say how the hell you're doing in a second, but this podcast is going to be presented and sponsored by Trevor. Why don't we show them?
Coors Light.
Nice cold can of Coors Light. So, all right, getting on to business.
Best beer in the world.
We got a packed trade deadline. I got you 2 episodes. We recorded one last night, emergency one tonight. Deadline was a massacre. Deadline was absolutely unreal.
Emergency needed. Bad.
Emergency needed. This was an unreal day, but we'll get that to you. Let me play the music and get to the show. All right. All right. Well, if you're at this point of the podcast, I've clipped together the last 36 hours, 24 hours from last night's podcast to this podcast. If you are listening to this podcast, you are watching the actual deadline or listening, my bad, to the actual deadline episode. I'm going to put those as 2 episodes. So you'll get one with Roman for the hater talk, and you'll get one without Roman for the Juan Soto talk. So, Trevor, I want you to kind of take the floor for a second.
Of course.
Start this episode.
So, Padres have acquired Juan Soto and Josh Bell from the Nationals in what is the biggest deadline deal of all time. And I'm just glad the Padres are on the correct side of this deal, because there's not a lot of superstars like Juan Soto that are on the market to be traded. It's super rare. Like, you see a lot of Padre fans posting everywhere, and I love it. I love seeing every post about Juan Soto. Keep posting about him. I love seeing it everywhere, because you know who else is seeing it? Your buddies. And your buddies, some of them might be Dodger fans, and they're shitting their pants at this moment. They're like, how did our little brother just beat us up on this trade? We're the big dogs. We trade for everyone. We can get anyone we want.
Yeah.
Not so fast, Kimosabi. Not so fast.
You kind of brought it up. The Padres made a trade. They got the big fish, ladies and gentlemen. Juan Soto, 23-year-old, already been a world champion with the Nats. Also got Josh Bell, who's having an awesome season. And you go back to where I talked about him at our trade deadline talks, where we showed a couple guys who we think would get traded. Josh Bell was on my list, man. I don't remember exactly who I had him going to, but Josh Bell was on my list to point out and to look for. So for the Padres to acquire both Juan Soto and Josh Bell is awesome. But let me get into a little bit of Juan Soto, if you don't already know, though. All right? Because I don't know, Trevor, some of you guys might not know. Some of you guys might just be San Diego Padres fans. Well, Padres got the big fish. Juan Soto, 23 years old. He's left-handed batter and thrower, plays outfield, could play all 3 spots. There's nothing he can't task in the outfield. Padres traded for an all-star. I already said champion. But this kid, they're comparing him to Babe Ruth. I mean, when this trade was announced, I mean, a week before, everyone was like, yeah, Juan Soto might be moved. He didn't accept the offer. We all really didn't think it was going to happen. Nats were really going to trade a 23-year-old who's getting compared to the likes of Mike Trouts and Hall of Famers, Babe Ruth, so many guys. And is he that good? Well, yeah. Juan Soto is that good at age 23. Came in the league at 19 in 2018. Hit 22 homers, 70 RBIs that year. 292 batting average. Following year, sophomore year, they usually concite that with the sophomore slump. Nope. He had 34 bombs, 110 RBIs. Oh, by the way, 108 walks, 282.
How old was he?
Oh, that year he was 20. Yeah, we get to 2022, batted 351 in the 60-game season. Last year, everybody has been talking about who was going to win MVP. We all wanted Fernando Tatis. My second was Juan Soto, saying, yeah, he had a great year. Walks. Everyone's talking too much about the walks. But he had an absolutely phenomenal year. Bryce Harper ended up winning it. But Juan Soto absolutely had a phenomenal year last year. Second in MVP. He did beat out Tatis in one spot. 157 hits, 145 walks. You combine that, you have a 465 on base percentage. That led the league last year. His OPS last year was 999. 1,000 OPS last year. I mean, Juan Soto, he might not have the best batting average this year, only batting at 246, but he's on the worst team in the league. They hadn't been good for 2 years. He wanted to get out. Right now, he leads the league in walks. He also has 21 bombs. And there, if you see the spreadsheet of the homers, it's all aspects
It's beautiful.
of the park.
It is beautiful.
It is the true definition of a hitter. But at the end of the day, this makes the Padres so much better. They lost a lot of prospects. We're going to get into that because I really liked Mackenzie Gore, CJ Abrams, James Woods, who had been on fire at Lake Elsinore and has been a top prospect. Some people thought of him as the Padres' best prospect. He goes. You also lose Luke Voigt, and that was at the end of the day. I mean, we lost Luke Voigt. The original deal had Eric Hosmer going to the Nats. The Nats were in his no trade clause, which the lucky son of a bitch. I don't know how.
How do I have known that going into the trade?
I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but he was in the original deal agreed upon. Haas declines it, waves his no trade clause, and says, You ain't sending me to Washington to go die one of the worst teams. So everyone in the world at that moment when word came out that Haas declined was, oh, all right, here comes the Dodgers. This deal's done.
Yeah, people were being so annoying.
Last year, it happened to us, though. Ken Rosenthal came out and tweeted that the Padres are finalizing a deal with the Nationals for Max Scherzer.
Yes, but
all of a sudden
that one was
crazy.
Yes, and that one was more Ken though. This one had every person saying done deal. So did this Padres done deal. Every party you can think of on Twitter, John Heyman, John Morosi, kept Rosenthal, passing, all these guys. Yeah, and last year I didn't see it from all of them.
It ended up getting to that point where they were like, hey, this deal is done, whether or not Haas is a part of it. The deal is done. Players have been notified. Juan Soto, Josh Bell are no longer a National.
That was my best tweet of the whole day.
Yeah, the Padres lost a lot of top prospects. The farm is depleted. The only one who really stayed out of the bunch was Luis Campusano. Who was my one, if you would have said would have been traded, it would have been him. I really did not think he was going to make it, but kind of makes sense. We only have Josh Bell now for the rest of the season. Don't know how his future as a Padre looks, but I'm excited for him because he's been mashing.
I think it looks good.
But no, I'm just saying he only has a half year. We'd have to extend him. We have a lot of money on the books already. You know, do we move Campuzano to first base? Because we don't really. I don't like him as a catcher.
He's not.
I like
even big enough to play first.
Yeah, but he's not a good catcher. Is the thing.
You can get better at catching. Can't get taller.
Can you though? Can you get better at catching?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna put some money say he gets a little taller. I don't know. That's just an idea. I do know understand that he is short. So I get what you're talking about. But it's just more ideas, Will Myers, it's a $1 million buyout at the end of the year. I'm sure they'd rather spend the $1 million, get him out of the $20 million deal. But I could see Will signing a veteran minimum coming back and stuff like that. Like he's one of those guys who I feel like his heart's here. We'll see how the end of the season goes for him.
That's what I do
I'm playing really good.
In the show. I let Hosmer walk, and then I just signed him for like $2 million the next year.
I mean, hey, if we could get not Haas, I don't give a fuck about Haas no more. We haven't got to that part yet, but Eric Hosmer is officially a Boston Red Sox. He's gone. He's on the Red Sox. He declined the offer, the trade. He threw his no trade deal. But then it was 45 minutes later, max, that they announced that he was going to the Red Sox.
Yeah.
We knew he was gone. It was just like, what's going to happen? He declined the trade. So it was either going to be we find a team that'll take you and we eat like 99% of the contract, which they did. Or we're probably going to DFA you and just let you find a team. So Haas gets dealt to the Red Sox. I don't really know what to make of that. We paid a lot of money. We sent some unknown prospects who I have no idea who they are. Got Jay Groom back, who is the Red Sox like 11th or 12th prospect. A couple years ago, coming out of the draft, he seemed like a really good prospect, but injuries have derailed him from his status, and we'll see what his future lies. But we end up paying, I'm pretty sure, $44 million, and that's exactly what's left on his deal.
Yeah, I was kind of confused, but then I thought about it a little bit. I was like, I thought he only has. I kept seeing 3 for 39 left, and I'm like, oh,
that's after this year.
Yeah, but then that's when I figured that out. I was like, oh, 44. But yeah, I saw that where we're giving him 44 because he's getting paid Red Sox vet min, right?
Yeah, for the rest of his contract, the Red Sox will pay him vet minimum, and we'll pay the rest.
Oh, for 3 more years?
Or the rest of
unless they trade him.
Yeah, and then someone else will pay the vet minimum. But it's kind of sad to see Eric go finally. I know we wanted him gone. I wanted him gone. I didn't really like him as a baseball player.
Wanted him gone.
You're a fan, and I understand why, people are fans of him. He helped change the Padres dramatically. This team had always been considered a low market, low budget, just a little team, and we did extend Will a year before, but going out and finally signing a big name free agent, we had to overpay. We knew that going in because we hadn't done that in a long time. And you said it for a long time. You've been a long time Hosmer truther. But if there's no Eric Hosmer, there's no Manny Machado. There's no Juan Soto.
Yeah. He started kind of all this.
He made San Diego like a hotspot destination.
He took a chance on us, and that's the best part that I love, because we were a bottom of the barrel dog shit team for my whole life, and then he takes a chance on us, knowing he's got 4 years really of shit. He's gonna be shit. He's gonna it's gonna be shit still. So that's why I have always been a fan of Hosmer. Is he took that chance on us. Next offseason, we get Manny Machado. Tatis turns into this superstar that we just had. So things like that is why I was a fan, and I want to see him succeed. I still want to see him succeed in Boston. I don't care. I think change of scenery is sometimes good for guys, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be good for him necessarily, but
he's going back to the AL. I don't know. Like you said, I want to see best for Haas. I do feel bad. I really hope the Padres win a ring this year, so he gets one because of everything he did for our organization. His fingerprints will be on this team for a long time, and his leadership for sure, for sure. And I know this is a deal a lot of fans wanted done last year. We stretched it out. We promised him, like, hey, we're gonna do the best we can.
Which I want to go back to spring training where they had an hour conversation or something like that, hour and a half, and then all of a sudden, first 2 months, this guy's coming out hot, like on fire, and
it's crazy that I don't know if that helped or didn't with this deal.
I know that too. I don't know if that increased any of his value or
because the two prospects the Padres gave with him I had never heard of in my entire life. And then I've heard of Jay Groom, who we got back, but I feel like we got him back because of all the money we gave. Like, I don't know. I don't know if his season this year has helped. He's had a decent year. Like, I mean, yeah, he hits the ball directly on the ground 90% of the time, but everything else had been pretty good.
He's having a good year in older baseball stats,
and
what people don't necessarily look at now.
And next year, I mean, I know we're paying him, but Hosmer making $13 million. If he produces the same thing he did this year, he's a $13 million player. That's what he is.
In this day, in this market, yeah.
In this market, yes, he's a $13 million player. But yeah, we could get on to more trades because I mean, I feel bad that but you know what kind of sucks is he didn't accept this deal, and I'm sure the Nats would have flipped him again to a contender, I'm sure, or DFA'd him and let him pick a team. So which kind of really sucks because then we end up having to give a Voit and a total.
Yeah. From that point of view of
that's what I was kind of pissed about. Haas, they're just gonna trade for you and DFA you, and you're gonna be able to pick a team. I don't know if he thought about that, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna be stuck on the goddamn Nationals." 90% in my idea. If I'm the Nationals GM, I cut Eric Hosmer instantly.
Yeah,
I don't even let him in the building. I tell him take a separate chartered home.
Yeah, I know.
And I say, hey, we're going to DFA you. We're going to let you or a team could claim you, or we're going to let you choose where you want to play. Because teams are going to want a left-handed bat off the bench who could play first. It's needed in the playoffs a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let it. I'm going to sleep it off today. And Eric Hosmer is no longer a Padre. And I'm okay with that because of Juan Soto. But the Padres really won this deadline. I know we were Padre fans, and we're going to talk a lot about them. But Padres acquired Juan Soto, Josh Bell, Josh Hader, and Brandon Drury, who we're going to get to here in a second. And then Cam Gallagher, who's a great defensive catcher, who's played a lot in this league. So I want to talk about his story in a little bit too. But Drury, I'm really excited about this move because he's had a really, really good season up to this point. 272, 20 bombs. I know he's been playing in good old American ballpark, and that place is very tiny.
Yeah.
But this is a bat that I think is going to be slept on for a little bit. And then when playoffs come, everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's why we got him. He's gonna make a couple of those great plays or wild at bats. I was reading some tweets before, and a lot of people were like Steven Pierce for the Red Sox 2018. Cheney, you said Rajay Davis earlier for the Indians or Guardians now, but the Indians back in 2016. I really think that's a great move by Preller. I heard the Dodgers were snooping on him too, but I love that Preller went in, made the move. Victor Acosta, I talked about him a while ago. I can't remember exactly what episode it is. We talk about Padres prospects. I talk about Victor Acosta. He's a shortstop. Signed him super young. He's a foreign player from like Dominican or somewhere, Spain. I can't remember exactly, but it's those type of deals that end up working actual trades.
Yeah.
You signed a player.
I think we overpaid for Drury, like a Drury type player. But
yeah.
I think Drury is what we expected Luke Voigt to be. Like what we wanted Luke Voigt to be a lot. Yeah. 272, 20 bombs, 60 RBIs right now. Like if we could get that out of Luke Voigt, there's no shot. I don't think he's gone. But now we just replace Luke Voigt with him, and he's doing it right now. He's doing that. So
yeah, exactly.
Maybe his role slightens a little bit, but I don't think it will because he hits better than Kim. Maybe he can DH a lot more, like Voigt's role. So makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, it definitely does, and he plays a lot. He plays infield, outfield. Could hit
everywhere, which
lineup.
He's the Chris Taylor of the motherfucking Dodgers.
Yeah,
he plays everywhere. It's fucking
this team is built like that, Josh Bell could play outfield, first base. Soto could play anywhere in the outfield. Kim could play anywhere on the infield. Cronenworth, infield. Tatis has some experience in the outfield. These
Nola.
guys can move around. Nola is not just a catcher. He could play second, first. He was a shortstop back in the day, but I would not want to see his knees at shortstop.
And Rick
Profar,
second baseman.
Used to be second baseman, played first and shortstop too, and is now playing every day in the outfield. This team has a lot of movement that they can make in the lineup, and Fernando Tatis is 2 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. Like I don't want to overhype you guys, but this Juan Soto move is unreal. It's unexpected, and it's honestly better than I could ever imagined.
No, it's way better.
It truly is. Like I'm more stunned than I think any listener could ever be, because Trevor, it's not that long ago that I was watching Alexi and Marista every day.
Yes, and I know like the Padres have recently gone up, but like we're some true fans out here. We watched. I remember Kristen Orfia back in the day. Will Venable, like they were good, but there's no shot they're Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado good. Like what we're watching right here is special, and
fans, make sure next time you're at the game, go buy a T-shirt. Go buy the extra beer. Go buy the beer bat. Help this team out, because the owner just put in a whole lot of money. We're paying Eric Hosmer $44 million to play for a team that is the furthest away from us as possible. Like it's on the catty corner across the United States. It's unreal to me that the owner is just like, yeah, you know what's best for the team. So next time you're at a game, and next time you go and see all the stupid little things, the fucking swag chains, the flags, anytime you're at the game, go reach out, go spend the $1, go buy your kid the fucking swag chain. All right. Help the owner out. Go pay for parking at the field. That's what pays for these players, guys. You want to know why parking went from 25 to 55? That's because we have Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, and Manny fucking Machado. And we just extended Joe Musgrove. Oh, and we have Josh Hader. Oh, Josh Bell. Yeah. There's a reason. Money doesn't just grow on trees. There's a reason that jersey Trevor wearing is $379.99. There's a reason. It costs. So next time, enjoy yourself a tall boy. Enjoy yourself a ballpark, Frank. A Randy Jones bar.
Jerry dog.
It's for the team. But let's get on with the rest of the trade deadline. The Padres made a lot of moves today. Oh, and just a quick announcement: Juan Soto will wear 22. Nick Martinez moving to 21. That's just
Deuce, never lose.
Yep. There you are, Trevor. That's your number too, 22.
You already know Kaufman Soto jersey.
Oh, you already know the whole gang is Kaufman Soto jerseys.
And I'm getting worse at San Diego on the front.
Oh yeah.
That's right, baby. Juan Soto is in
I don't
San
know. I might
Diego.
get it. I might get it in that little pink and teal.
The City Connect.
I might be getting Soto in a city.
We'll see. We'll see.
Speaking of, the Padres face the Dodgers this weekend in Los Angeles. The Dodgers were kind of quiet at the deadline, Trevor. They seemed more of sellers. It was kind of weird.
Well, it's crazy how we expected not to get Juan Soto. So what happened? We were looking for whoever else we can get. And what the fuck did the Dodgers do? The same exact thing we were expecting the Padres to do. They go out and get Bowie Ballo.
See, it's funny. If you're at this point in the podcast, if you didn't skip here and you listen to the first half, we talk a lot about Trevor cursing the Padres almost into a Bowie Ballo situation. And now, since he's a Dodger, I'm going to feel free to say it. But Joey Gallo is a Los Angeles Dodger. They make the move. We really, really thought at one point that the Padres were going to end up with nothing but Joey Gallo. We'll make a joke because he's not playing as well as Joey Gallo usually does. So we're calling him the off-brand Joey Gallo, Bowie Ballo. That was the whole joke about it. But Dodgers really, that's their lone move. That's their lone addition. They give up Mitch White. They give up Jake Lamb. They add Joey Gallo. So they're hoping they could fix something because he only has like 38 hits on the year.
Yeah, and Aaron Judge has more home runs than he does hits. So
yeah, so that was quite inventive.
And they're teammates, and they played the same amount of games.
That is correct, Trevor. That is correct.
Yeah, so Joey Gallo goes to the Dodgers. Awesome. There's a lot of like lower tier moves, I would say. I wouldn't say any other like big names kind of got dropped. Noah Syndergaard went to the Phillies. I like that move. The Phillies made a lot of moves. NL East was active. Everyone except the Mets, which is awesome because Mets are gonna fall off.
Yeah, Mets making poor man moves. But yeah, Noah Syndergaard to the Phillies for Mickey Moniak. That was actually kind of a Moniak, whatever. That's actually a wild deal because I feel like Syndergaard's only a 1-year deal. Moniak was playing for them like up and down at the big leagues already. I don't know. Maybe that's how kind of like Ruiz was for the Padres. They were just showing him off to teams.
A little bit. He's from San Diego though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
Granite?
No, he went to La Casa Canyon.
Casa.
Number 1 overall pick in the 2016 draft, I think.
16 my year?
Wow.
Yeah. Quick, while we're in the podcast, I just want to say a quick RIP to Vince Scully. That devastating news just announced. Longtime Dodgers announcer. I was a real big fan. I know I'm not a fan of the Dodgers, but Vince Scully, if you never listened into the Dodger games, he always had some of the greatest stories. That's what was so cool about Vince Scully is he'd been around the league for so long. Been around Jackie Bradley and Sandy Koufax and the Dodgers like great years. So when I would watch the games and they would have his broadcast on, it would just be really cool. Him just like talking about a player and then leading up to like some great story. So baseball lost a true icon and a legend, and RIP Vince Scully.
Yeah, RIP Vince Scully.
Definitely a super sad day in the baseball world and for sure for the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's very iconic. His voice will always be remembered throughout baseball. If you pay attention to baseball whatsoever, you know exactly who we're talking about. You know exactly that voice is in your head right now. So pretty iconic guy. Sucks to see him pass away. Rip, then Scully.
You touched on the Mets right before I interrupted you with Vince Scully, but Mets only acquired Michael Givens from the Cubs, and then I can't remember, but I feel like they acquired a lower name as well.
The Mets?
Yeah, Mets got Givens and somebody else. It was like a super.
Oh, it was Darren
Red
Ruff.
Rocket.
Darren Ruff from the Giants.
Darren Ruff from the Giants. And they gave up a lot for him. Darren Ruff's 36 years old, hasn't been really a great player in this league over time. They gave up a lot for him. JD Davis.
JD Davis, yeah, I know. It was name like notable names, you know.
And they gave up prospects too. It wasn't just like a 1-for-1 swap. Like that would have made more sense to me. But they gave up a couple prospects and JD Davis. I think Davis is a better player than Ruff. Ruff just is kind of like hot right now. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
Mets are fucking weird.
But yeah, we could touch on there's a lot of moves that happened today. We've only touched on a little bit of them so far. So I'll kind of ramble through them and you could give me your honest opinion. Brewers acquired Trevor Rosenthal from the Giants in a matter of days that he was signed.
Yeah, I thought that was so weird, but Brewers are desperate for pitching now because they just traded the Padres Josh Hader, so that's what I figured. They were desperate.
If Rosenthal could get back to it, that's kind of a nice like back end piece for the Brewers. Rosenthal,
he can get
Rogers,
you innings. He can get
Williams.
outs. He can get outs.
Yeah, like throwing in Rosenthal in like the 8th, 7th, 8th, I'm not mad at.
Yeah.
I like Williams for them in the closer role. I don't know who's going to be their closer. I know Rogers has a lot of saves, but I really like Williams, and I think that young kid should get a shot at the closer role.
Yeah, I mean, if
maybe they're going to start him fresh next year at it and just give Rogers the rest of the year at it, but whatever. Another deal, Trevor, I want you to talk about. Cardinals add more pitching, traded for Jordan Montgomery from the Yankees, but it cost them, man. Harrison Bader.
Yeah, and I thought Harrison Bader was he was good for them.
Yeah, this didn't really. I mean, this made sense for both sides, but at the same time, I was like, "Whoa!" for both sides. Like I was like, "Man, felt like the Yankees could have just kept adding pitching, not really subtracting a guy who's been in the rotation in and out for a long time."
Well, Jordan Montgomery is pretty old, isn't he?
He's
like 33.
Montgomery's 29.
Oh shit! I'm thinking something else. I'm probably thinking of Mike. I'm thinking of Mike Montgomery.
He's really not that making that much money. Like he hasn't been that bad, you know.
He hasn't been that bad.
2021, he's had a 3.77 ERA in 272 innings and 51 starts.
But so does Bader just fill the role of Joey Gallo then? Is that kind of like what you think?
That's what I'm guessing. And then they have Montas taking Montgomery's spot is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, Bader may benefit from that fucking Little League stadium, so.
And, you know, he's going to come and play awesome defense for them, and they don't need Judge to play center field anymore.
Yeah, but I like Judge in center.
I do too, but he's a right fielder, man. He doesn't need to be diving in center. Rob homers in those short field and let balls die in front of you.
No, he is a right fielder. I think.
I
think longevity wise, he's a right fielder. Center, Bader can definitely play center. He's played center his whole career. So, and then left, I don't. Who are they gonna put there? Matt Carpenter, Stanton.
Yeah, you know,
does Stanton play? I thought he just.
Stanton had been playing a little bit of outfield this year. I know he just won the IL.
Saw him at the All-Star game.
Yeah,
playing left field right in front of me.
I think he needs to stick to DH. But you know, they have Hicks, Judge, Benintendi, don't forget.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Benintendi's
left fielder.
They have Benintendi over there now. So I mean, Bader in center, and then you have Giancarlo, and then I really don't know. You could start Carpenter anywhere, any day. Or have him off the bench and he just hits monster taters.
The Yankees have such a good problem, and it's so annoying because everything's clicking for them this year. They always have needed that one dude who's doing what Aaron Judge is doing, and like obviously he would have done that on any team he's on this year, but he happens to be on the Yankees, and it's honestly just paying off for them. Everything's clicking at this moment. They were making the right moves. They have a little bit of money to spend, obviously, because no deals been made for Judge. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see, that's where it gets scary, man. They're adding all these players and stuff, but you gotta pay the big man, dog. You gotta pay him. He's having this season where he's absolutely crushing the ball. Like Aaron Judge, he's gonna break the 61 homers. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh yeah,
he's just crushing the ball right now, and I definitely think he's gonna get a lot of money this offseason. Is it gonna be from the Yankees? Who knows? But hey, you better win it this year because it's their year or it's over if he's gone. Because I don't like this team without Judge.
No, not at all. And Bader and Benintendi can't do what Judge is doing.
Not at all. Not at all. Mariners acquired some vets and Jake Lamb and Matthew Boyd. I saw that.
Oh, the Braves got Raciel Iglesias, right?
Braves got Raciel Iglesias.
Which is weird because don't they have
they
Kenley
love
Jansen?
They love backloading their pen. They did this last year. Added a couple guys in the pen. I don't know how much they're falling in love with Kenley because Raciel makes a lot of money. The Angels just extended him, it feels like. So I don't know. They have a good problem as well. Too many guys in the pen. It's a good problem. Hopefully they don't have drama, but that's a good problem. Twins made some moves too. They got Michael Fulmer from the Tigers.
Tyler Mahle
from the Reds, Sandy Leone from the Guardians. So they made some moves. Mariners also got Kirk Casale. I talked about the Mariners a little bit earlier. Phillies get David Robertson. Had him a couple years ago, reunited. They ended up cutting Juris Familia. Phillies got weird bullpen.
Yeah, weird bullpen issues. Always. Yeah, but I like their. I don't know why I like Syndergaard so much, but I like that Syndergaard move for them. Like I think that will help the Phillies kind of do what we expected them to do.
It definitely might,
especially with that offseason they had. So, yeah. What else? Who else? What else?
Blue Jays acquired Zach Pop and Anthony Bass from Marlins, and Marlins
and Whit
really,
Merrifield.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that right after, but Marlins don't really do anything else. Don't trade Pablo Lopez. Don't move any of their real names. But
no, they don't.
Yeah, like you said, Blue Jays get Whit Merrifield right as the deadline hit 3:00. They throw this news at us, and I didn't even hear anything about Whit Merrifield getting traded, but I like this move a lot. I think Whit should have been traded a couple years ago when he was at the peak of his career so far. Yeah. I mean, I know he's getting older. He's not running as much. He's not hitting as good as well as he was, but I still think Whit is a good player, and that's a good ad for the Blue Jays because he can play multiple positions. Someone who the Padres were interested for a long time. But
thank God.
I didn't really like the fit anymore. He got contract and all that stuff. Twins also added Jorge Lopez from the Orioles, their closer. So that was
a good move.
That was kind of
that was a good move. He's having a great year.
He's having a great year. I don't know why the Orioles did that.
And any pen, yeah, I don't know why the Orioles did that. With their moves were a little bit confusing, but Twins wise, any pen with Emilio Pagan, you need to boost it by the deadline. So it was a good move by them.
Yeah, and they sent some prospects. They sent a lot of prospects, I'm pretty sure, for him, but he's been having a great year. The Twins made a lot of sneaky moves, and I'm proud of them for doing that because
Yeah.
I
Did the
definitely
White Sox make
they
any
can-
moves?
no, and I knew they weren't going to because they know that the hiring of La Russa cost them 2 years,
Yeah.
and they're going to be gentlemen and going to let him ride it out. Announce departure after. They're not going to fire a Hall of Famer. It's probably in the contract that they wrote up when they signed him out of retirement.
I know, huh?
Some stupid like that. You see him falling asleep the other day at the first inning of the game.
Yeah.
Like I understand, like 8th inning, like you're down like 10 runs or up 10 runs. You're like, whatever, falling asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first inning, dog. You know how hard that is. It's hard to sit in one spot during the first inning, let alone fall fucking asleep. So, he's just a joke. Speaking of joke of the deadline, how about the fucking Chicago Cubs?
They're the laughing stock of the whole league.
I mean, this was just rough, dude.
Yeah. You're literally torturing Wilson Contreras and Aaron Happ.
They hugged like a couple days ago. They hadn't really played much. Like, just deal them. What? Why didn't they deal Chris Bryant last year? Or not Chris Bryant, but who'd they let walk this offseason? I can't remember exactly.
I don't know.
But they sold off half the guys last year. They should have just sold. Like, I don't understand what keeping Wilson Contreras for half a year does.
No, I know, and he's just gonna leave. You literally just lose him for free.
I mean, you get the pick. I guess that's the only thing because they're gonna tie him to a. Or is that not a thing no more?
No, I saw something about that. Yeah,
I can't exactly remember if that's a thing or not anymore with the new MLB players ruling, but I just don't understand keeping Wilson Contreras. Ian Happ, I think, has another year left on his deal, or is he a free agent too?
I think he has one more.
I think he had another year, so that makes sense for him because you could flip him next year. I know the return won't be as much, but it doesn't make sense to keep either of them. Like, I really don't understand why their number was so high, or if they think they're going to re-sign them. I really don't know what the Cubs are doing. They signed Marcus Stroman last year, but I think that they were really just trying to bump up the Marcus Stroman like contract. Like they just wanted to keep maybe the Cardinals out of it or something. Just be like, yeah, throw us in there for 5 for 75. And they're like, oh, yep, that was a deal or whatever his deal was. But
that was about 30 more than I was getting.
Yeah, because that was the only thing that made sense to me for them to make that move was just them accidentally signing Marcus Stroman just because they were trying to beef up the deal.
That was like the Rockies signing Chris Bryant.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's the only thing that makes sense for them doing that. And we were so right about him. I know we talked about that before the season started when that deal was announced. He was just going to retire. And that's basically what he's done this year. He's been on the IL 3 times, hasn't played the Padres yet. And, you know, I'm glad he signed with the Rockies because we wouldn't have Juan Soto if that happened. So, AJ Preller, you are way fucking smarter than us. This is why we call ourselves Average Takes. If you've watched and listened to every podcast up to this point, congrats and thank you. But at the same time, you've heard the most average guys just talk baseball. And yeah, sometimes we're right. Of course, that happens. Broken clock's right twice a day. But sometimes we're wrong. And I've been wrong because AJ had a great day today. I think we probably missed a trade or two. I think we hit them all. But AJ, you had a great day.
Yeah, thanks for doing your job, buddy.
Thank you for doing your job. It took like 2.5 years, it felt like, since your last trade, since 2020 trade deadline. Because last year we didn't do nothing, and this year we did everything.
Well, last year you got Blake Snell and Yu Darvish.
No, that was during the off season.
Oh, you're talking about deadlines?
Yes.
But yeah, we didn't do nothing last year, and Ken Rosenthal really fucked us over.
Off season, you can't really do anything. Did we talk? We talked Tommy Pham yesterday, right?
I'm assuming, but yeah, fuck Tommy Pham. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the
the best move the
transaction.
Red Sox made were getting Eric Hosmer.
That was
That's
your
awesome.
best move.
No, that was the Red Sox best move all day.
Do you think the Padres overpaid or underpaid for Juan Soto?
Probably overpaid. I mean, we
That's
got Juan Soto and
works.
Josh Bell.
Yes, true.
And I think Josh Bell is like we can re-sign him.
If you split up the deal, if we split up the deal, because what do you think a Josh Bell trade would have looked like? Josh Bell, who was having an all-star year, he's batting 300, has 15 bombs. Josh Bell to the Padres, because that's how you have to kind of think these out. I think that's what cost us, obviously, first baseman and Eric Hosmer, or i.e. Voit is what the deal was. So that was Voit. Plus, I think one prospect is what gets that deal done.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Voit plus the Suzara guy.
Sure.
Susanna.
That makes sense.
Is what gets Josh Bell. And then the rest of the deal is Mackenzie Gore, CJ Abrams, Robert Hassel, and James Wood.
So I think we overpaid for that wise. I think we overpaid for Juan Soto, but I'm okay with doing that. I've heard some mumblings of, oh, there goes our future. But Juan Soto, like, will be better than Hassel will be anytime soon.
We get 3 playoffs with Juan Soto.
And
let's just think about that. We get everyone's all 2.5 years, whatever. We get 3 playoffs, is what it is. We have 3 opportunities at a championship with Juan Soto. We also have 2 more draft classes until we get to do this all again, till whatever Juan Soto might be a free agent, or if we extend them, however AJ gets to that point in his life. Because that's what I call future Bob's problems. That's future AJ problems at this point. But we have 2 more draft classes to rebuild. And we had a draft class that we didn't really trade many of these guys out of this recent draft, if any at all. I don't know. Maybe the Haas deal included some of those guys because I had no idea where those names came from. But we have a long time. Like, these teams come and go. We have international free agents that can be signed. That's how a lot of these guys were traded. That's how we got Drury, was an international free agent. You know, a lot of things could happen. Yeah, we depleted the farm. Yeah, you could laugh. But we still have Campuzano. We still have Jackson Merle. A lot of guys that were just drafted. And there's always hidden gems in there. So
there's always hidden gems. There's always standouts.
I don't really think we overpaid for Juan Soto. We have 3 postseason opportunities. We gave them 4 players, 2 major league ready talents that are going to go into their team right now. Like, CJ will be an everyday player for them. And then you have some prospects who you never know what prospects are. You still don't know what Gore, CJ, those guys are either. Like, we really don't know what prospects are. Banners hang forever, and that's the message AJ sent today. Yeah, this Padres team is now equal. The Dodgers went out and got Freddie. If the Dodgers don't get Freddie Freeman and they come in with the same team they did last year, I don't think the Padres have Juan Soto. Probably I really don't. If Freddie Freeman's still a Brave and the Dodgers are like 99% of the team they were last year.
I mean, yes, but at the same time,
or not, I don't know. But
AJ is he has his hands on everything.
Yes.
Bob Melvin was saying it. He has a pulse on every single player somewhere, wherever you are. If you're good enough, AJ Preller is going to be interested in you. So,
and we've talked a lot about Juan Soto, but Josh Hader is nothing to sleep on.
No, not at all.
Like, we get 2 postseasons with Josh Hader, and that deal, I think we stole Josh Hader from them.
Yeah,
like, personally.
Yep.
I don't think we gave them enough. Like, we gave them Dinelson Lamet, who's a 31-year-old arm who has been washed for 2 years, who didn't want to get surgery, came back and his arm is a quarter of what it was before. And we gave him Rogers, who was just at a slight decline, that had a a heavy chunk straight downwards.
He had enough value left on him, which was awesome.
And I don't even remember the rest of that deal. That's how much it is.
Esteury Ruiz, which that's the only one that hurts.
It hurts because this team lacks a little speed still to this point. But I think AJ said speed or power.
Yeah, I mean,
he's okay with our speed.
Those numbers that you mentioned with I'm gonna go back to Soto a little bit. When you were talking about Soto's numbers, those national teams were pretty decent. Like one of those teams won a World Series.
Yeah,
he was protected by a lot of guys. Mark Graham was talking about it in the day game earlier. Manny Machado's now protected. Fernando Tatis now protected. And then that's only going to make Jake Cronenworth better. That's only going to make Brandon Drury better. Like, oh, you want to walk Juan Soto? All right, that's fine. You got to pitch to Manny Machado now. Oh, like, that's not an easy out.
None of this lineup is full of no easy outs except Trent Grisham. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Trent Grisham's actually been pretty nice as of late. Has a couple homers. All of a sudden has 12.
Yeah, I know.
Like you hit 20 and I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
If he gets to 25, he has to be over 200.
I'm ecstatic. At 25, I don't care what your batting average looked like.
No.
Especially I need him to play a little bit better center, but if he plays a good center, I'm all right with 25 bombs. I don't care the average.
Yeah, but I can't see any other player. Like, I mean, I can, but they weren't on the market, so I can't see any other player making this lineup like as dangerous as it can be now.
No, I mean the lineup doesn't get much better than that. You know,
you got Josh Bell,
how do we even pencil lineup? Now we're at this point in the podcast, Trevor. Let's pencil in San Diego Padres starting lineup.
All right, bet.
I have no idea. I have no idea what it's gonna look like, especially when Tatis is back. I have no idea. Because
I put him lead off.
You put Tatis lead off?
Yeah,
you like Tatis, Soto, Machado?
Yeah. But Tony Gwynn Jr. said put Profar 9, which I love that in this situation now because he gets on base for Tatis, Soto, and Machado. And he's been raking at the leadoff spot. And I think he is such a team player that he don't care where he's hitting. He's just having fun right now.
I'm a little quiet right now because I'm writing a lineup in my head when
I'd probably put Bell 4.
Hold on. I mean, yeah, you can keep talking to the fans.
I'd probably put Bell 4. 5, Jake. 6, Crony. 7, Alfaro. 8.
Wait, you said Jake and then Crony. What are we talking about?
No, I think I said Drury.
Oh, you said Jake and then Crony, but maybe you meant Drury.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about Drury in this lineup all of a sudden.
Drury DH 6 hole. Or you put him 7.
Yeah, I was thinking Alfaro. Right now, I got Tatis, Soto, Machado, Bell, Cronenworth, Alfaro, Drury. That's Tatis in the leadoff. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you have obviously Profar and Grish.
I would go Grish Profar.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, so we got Tatis leadoff, Soto, Machado, Bell, Cronenworth, Alfaro, and Drury. You could probably flip-flop those. And this lineup is just saying I don't even know how they're going to go righty-lefty and such, whatever. But Tatis, Soto, Machado, Bell, Cronenworth, Alfaro, Drury, Grisham, and Profar.
And nasty as fuck. And if, say, Jake's heating up, you want to bump him up, I would put him 2-hole and then bump everyone down. Soto 3, Machado 4.
So versus some righties, you think we'd go Tati double lefty and then Machado?
Yes.
I do love Fernando Tatis at the leadoff spot in this lineup and his life. He is ready to go as soon as that first pitch is thrown and doesn't get beat by much. And it's hard to throw like sliders perfect batter one, like
Yeah.
you have to be
You
on
want to
your
get attacked.
game
You're
to
gonna get attacked.
you're going to get attacked. You're going to get a first pitch fastball. And that's what Tatis hunts. He has a lot of leadoff homers for a reason. So I think that putting him in a leadoff spot with Soto behind him, those guys playing tag all year.
The Nerfie's about to be never happening.
You'll never bet a Nerfie again, dog. Yeah, and then we still have Luis Campusano underneath. We still have a lot of guys on this team. Zokar didn't move. Austin Nola didn't move. We added another catcher, Cam Gallagher, 11-year vet. He was pretty sad, I guess, when he was talking about getting moved. But AJ called him and said, "Hey, buddy, I know it sucks. You've been there 11 years, but we want to win a championship." And
I think he could be the fill in any
and
role.
buddy,
7th, 8th, 9th inning.
That lineup we just created, we did not include Will Myers. We did not include Ha-Sung Kim.
Yeah, facts.
Nola is not in that lineup. Zokar, Mazzara.
Yeah, Mazzara's not there. Damn, shit. Shit.
All of a sudden, that team is deep, dog. And what do we do with Beatty? Matt Beatty. You guys remember him earlier this year? We had him starting out in right field.
So that lineup I just named, probably against a lefty, I would say. Because I heard Drury bangs lefties. So if it was righty, I would just flip-flop him with Mazzara.
Drury's a righty.
Yeah. And Will, he can play first every now and then. Maybe if he gets hot, I like him when he's hot. When he's not hot, I don't like him. So
yeah, he does go through those spurts, and I feel like he'll be all right this year.
Because I've seen him at his best. We've seen literally the peaks and the highs and the lows of his whole career. He's been a Padre.
Fun when he's hot. All of a sudden, there's extra base hits. There's
those oppo doubles where he doesn't finish his swing and you know it's gone. Yes. That's when you know he's hot. That's when you know he's hot.
And he's been playing good first base these last couple games. I saw him play a couple diving plays. He made one of those. When Haas used to go across the bag 3 feet behind the bag, he made one of those weird plays, but he actually made it in front of the bag this time, like actual first baseman, but did it correctly and made the play. So this team is deep all of a sudden, Trevor. And
it is. All of a sudden, it's crazy.
And Hader's going to be closing it in the 9th.
Oh, shit, boy.
Holy shit. The Padres had the most quality starts. This team is built, Trevor. All of a sudden, AJ Preller went Thanos and has all goddamn stones. Holy shit, Trevor.
That's the San Diego Padres for you.
There wouldn't be a day. Trevor, did you ever stop keeping the faith?
No, because I have put my trust in AJ Preller from day one. He fucked me over last year, made me feel like a little shit.
But
this year he's put me on cloud 9.
Imagine if we make that Max Scherzer deal and he's gone in half.
We don't have the capital.
We don't have anywhere near the capital to make this move.
No. And I'm glad it just got done. The Dodgers must think their guys are that good to not want to do this, because I can't see a team not wanting Juan Soto.
Oh, the Dodgers were in it. We had what the Nats wanted. Everything we had, the Nats said, you know what, that's nice.
Yes, but at the same time, the Dodgers had to have done something where they either held back people or they think like they're like those guys are like legit, you know. I
Maybe
don't know.
their only reason they were in it was just to make this deal harder for the Padres. I mean, the Padres put more prospects.
Yeah,
You know, that's what teams do. They bid,
jack up the price.
jack up the price, dog. More suitors, more teams wanted. You know, they
Yeah, and
could they really afford to get him? Probably not. At the end of the day, would they wanted to get rid of the capital for, you know, probably not. And the Nationals knew that they had a good deal from the Padres.
but these are deals that like change like teams like this, you know. There's always guys in
This
World
is like
Series
trading
champions.
for Mike Trout in 2014.
Yeah, or even like
That's what it is.
who would be
Trading for Bryce Harper in 2015. Trading for Babe Ruth.
trying to think.
You know, our dad's generation. It's like trading for Ken Griffey Jr. when he's 24, 23.
Yeah,
know?
damn, goddamn.
It's like when the Rangers traded for Alex Rodriguez. Yeah, it's those type of moves. Those move mountains. That type of shit happens. And it did. If you're a San Diego Padre fan, be fucking proud. If you're average take fan, please like, comment, subscribe. This has been one hell of a roller coaster of a day, Trevor. And I'm so fucking excited because the Padres World Series odds goddamn jumped.
And they were higher during the season than they were preseason. Because I saw some guys like, oh, I got them at plus 7,000, and I was like, you're bullshitting, because I knew they were the highest they were ever at was like a plus 1,000. Because I had a tweet and I was like, if you're gonna bet the Padres, bet them now. This is the highest they'll ever get, which was wrong.
10-1 odds right now.
Yep, that was what they were like preseason, but that was wrong. This season went on. I saw them at like 22-1 odds. So now this bumps them back down to 10-1, which is fire. And then once we get in the postseason, it's just gonna keep getting smaller and smaller because this team wants to win, and this team wants to win now.
And this is what you have to do. You have to make these moves. There's a couple of trades like the Drury trade, I think, is going to help us. He probably won't even start every day, but that's definitely going to help us. I know it's going to fucking help when it comes World Series time.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. He's going to make one of those crazy at-bats. And a lot of these guys will.
And
somebody else will.
And I don't want to overlook Bob Melvin's acquisition in the offseason, getting us to this point to be able to make this move and not feel like, oh, we are totally fucked. We have to. We have to make this move because we know we're going to be in the playoffs. This team's built for the playoffs. Bob Melvin has done that. Stretching out our starting pitchers 7 innings, you know. There's always peaks and valleys in this game. We hit a valley going into the All-Star break. Now we've won 3 straight games against the Rockies and against a team that has owned us all year. I don't know if we're winning, are we?
It's 2-2 right now.
Okay, good.
Bottom 7. But Trevor, I want to go to bed because tomorrow only brings happy days.
First game for Juan Soto in a Pods uni.
First game for the rest of our lives, Trevor.
God bless.
It's World Series or go the fuck home. And that's going to be my mentality the rest of the year. We talked about double middle finger energy the beginning of this year, Trevor. And it's time right now. Bring that shit back. I don't care what anyone says. World Series are bust. We've been talking about this for too goddamn long, Trevor. It's 22. We started this podcast a couple years ago. It's time.
It's time.
It's finally time for us Padre fans. So get ready. And I'm sure there's going to be bandwagoners as there always is. So be ready.
and enjoy the fucking ride.
Enjoy the
Let's ride.
I will see you in October, motherfuckers. Go
Let's
Padres, and thank you, AJ fucking Preller. Nothing wrong with being average. Deuces.
Let's ride.